Hello and welcome to Link Ahead, the City of Dublin podcast. And if there's one thing true in Dublin, and it was true yesterday, it's true today, and it'll be true tomorrow, it's that safety is our number one priority.
You are absolutely right, Lindsay. It's more than a wish, a hope, or a dream. It's something we actively plan for as much as possible. And when it comes to some of our signature events like St. Patrick's Day, which is right around the corner, hard to believe, we partner with Central Ohio's Safe Ride program to help people get home safely and to keep the roads safe for everyone.
Yes, and we are so pleased to have with us Scott Neff. Scott is chair of Safe Ride of Central Ohio and also a partner with Fado Irish Pub. Scott, welcome to Link Ahead.
Thank you. And Lindsay, it's great to see you again for years and years that we've done this.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been an amazing partner. We're going to dig into the last 10 to 15 years of partnership with the City of Dublin. We've been working together on this Safe Ride program. Tell our listeners a little bit more about it.
Sure. So the way that it all came about was in 2007, Riverside Hospital, so Ohio Health, was given some trauma money. Basically, they were given a couple $1,000s to reduce traffic trauma. And they gave those vouchers, they got with cab companies, and they gave those vouchers to Burns Irish Pub, to Fado, my pub in Easton, and then to a couple others. And we thought it was a great idea, and it was really well received. The media came in and reported on it, and we gave out these vouchers, and everybody used them, and it was really cool, and it made sense. And then their one-time grant was gone. Yeah.
So we had to figure out a new way to fund it.
That's right. So Pat Byrne from Burns and I, the following year, when we figured out this is no longer available, we said, listen, we need to get this going again. So we got some vendor support. We decided, hey, Guinness makes sense. You know, we're Irish pubs. It makes sense to get Guinness involved. And then over time, we got others involved as well. But we came up with the funding ourselves and said, let's do these vouchers. Let's get with some cab companies and do $10 off. And it went really well and very quickly.
So you started in 2007 with this, and you've talked about the origins. Did you see it becoming what it would become today? Did you have any idea it would be this big?
No. Okay. No, we didn't. I mean, to be honest with you, the city of Dublin really helped build it. You know, you guys really did. What we were doing was kind of giving ourselves a reasonable efforts defense at a time when we thought we need to be responsible. We have alcohol in people's hands. People are out partying, they're having fun, but they're not thinking about responsibility.
Sure, yeah.
They're thinking about having fun. We need to think about responsibility for them. So, no, I never saw it getting this big, but you guys helped make that happen.
Well, it's so impactful when you think about that it started with the trauma unit at the hospital, because they're really seeing the other side of drinking and driving, and it kind of hits you right there. It's like it's pretty serious.
That's right.
So you mentioned voucher, and it just blows my mind to think that someone would be handed a piece of paper in this day and age when we have everything on that little.
Wasn't that long ago?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like in cabs, like, you know, when's the last time you saw a regular cab?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, you know, you have evolved as technology has evolved. So you don't just give a voucher. You now have. How does it work now with Lyft?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, the in between was we had some cab companies that were really into this and wanted to do things, but just the times kind of passed them by for our purposes anyway. Sure. So first we were with Uber, and frankly, Lyft did a great job of coming in, really being a great partner with us and wanting to help us be able to geofence events and do things like that, you know? So now we have a business partnership with Lyft. It's really seamless now, you know? What used to be really tough to geofence, now we can do. You know, we actually can come up with QR codes for events ourselves now after Lyft has given us that ability.
And it's so simple now. You know, we've talked about the City of Dublin Safe Ride partnering for over 10 years. It used to be vouchers and cabs. And now with Lyft and Uber and the rideshare programs, it really is easier than ever to never drink and drive. Are you seeing a shift in behavior at all, just from your standpoint?
I have. You know, to me, the younger people are better at taking this on, partly because of the tech, partly because they have Lyft or Uber, and all of them use Lyft or Uber, you know, and they often plan ahead, maybe better than some folks in their 50s and 60s, you know, at this point. even with that, I've seen a big shift with that. It used to be, if you were a bartender or a manager of a pub and you needed somebody not to drive, you had to call a cab, wait for it, and all that.
Right.
And now it could be like, hey, let me see your phone. Yeah, I see the Uber app. You know what I mean? So all of that has evolved. It is much easier on the codes now, especially that somebody can just pick it up. If they have the app, they can pick it up from a QR code, and it automatically applies to their phone. There's a little bit of a negative to that, too, in that people can apply the code, and once they do, that code is gone.
Right.
Even though it's not used yet.
Right. So undoubtedly, the Safe Ride program has saved people from injury, and it's saved lives over the last 2 decades. Talk about why this cause is so important to you and your partners.
Yeah, sure. So, originally, like I said, it was kind of to make ourselves, feel better. I have a couple liquor licenses in my name. I want to be responsible. It made us feel better about what we were doing. But then it actually made sense on so many different levels to be able to get other people to think about it. And then once it gets out in the media, it kind of gains a little traction. And so there's that. So one of my partners in Safe Ride, there's two that own pubs. Pat Byrne from Burns Pub, Ed Gahan from Owen Lane. They're both very involved with the city of Dublin over the years. And then the other one is Steve Crane. He manages the Tinderbox next to Fado. And he had an employee that used to hang out at our pub. His name was Vince Canzani, and Vince left our pub. He was a non-drinker, interestingly enough. He left our pub at like 2 a.m. and got killed by a wrong-way driver in Columbus. And that wrong-way driver got a lot of hits on YouTube. Vince's name is not known to most people, but his name was. So it's interesting to me, those things really resonate with people. And when you tell them that story, it's really hard for them to forget.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I know it's really important for you to talk about Vince and talk about all of the reasons behind this program. And we are here to raise awareness about it. So getting into some of the specifics, we just did a promotion for Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And now right around the corner, hard to believe it, St. Patty's Day is coming up again.
Yeah.
And so we really, really, really want to encourage the use of these codes. Talk specifically about what people need to know about redeeming them and using them.
Yeah, sure. So you guys are very good about getting it out in the media, and people see those codes. And then the Patty's Day code will do soon. And this time on St. Patrick's Day, we'll do the code in Dublin for sure. And then we'll do some other ones around the city so that Pat in Grandview and Fado in Easton and Owen Lane on campus can also have codes that work for them.
Perfect. I know we always try to include that code like on social media, so you can copy, paste, put it right into the app, and usually we'll do $10 off a ride to or from anywhere in Dublin. So it's a really great program.
That's right. It's interesting. We set the $10 kind of barrier a long time ago, and it feels like it's enough that it compels action on people's part. And then, depending on how far they go, it's a really substantial discount for them.
Absolutely.
So, Scott, does Safe Ride have goals on expansion for impact this year?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like for us, we would love to see other bars and restaurants that really got involved in this post, the posters become, part of the program. Over the years, we've had several, but we really don't have a whole lot of those people that are partners with us. What they do, though, is they're happy to use Dublin's code, in
Wait
their
a minute.
restaurants.
Hold on.
Good. I'm just saying they know that that's an out for them right now, and it's a good out for them. But then as far as other communities and other areas, we've done some other things with Gahanna and with Hilliard, and neither one of them have come back with like a large budget to be able to do events. If you're listening, Gahanna or Hilliard, you have a budget, come and see us. We'll help you out.
Yeah, and we have to give a credit to Dublin City Council, who's been supportive of this since before I started with the city in 2014 and continues to support the program. And, we see the numbers on the redemptions just kind of going up and up and up, again, with the ease of use now and the partnership with Lyft. So they really see the value. And so we have to give credit where credit's due there.
That's good. Good job, Dublin.
What do you think it will take to get more businesses, more cities, more counties, more healthcare providers involved in the campaign?
So that's a good question. I think awareness is part of it. As people see this and how seamless it can be and how you get in a new behavior, you think, hey, we're going out for New Year's Eve. We should do ride sharing. It just makes sense. I've got it on the way there. You've got it on the way back, and it just makes sense. So I think that's part of the reason why we've been successful and why it's grown. But I think that's the easiest way for it to expand as well.
My favorite thing is when I have a friend who sends me this code and they might be doing something in Dublin for New Year's Eve and says, hey, did you see this code that we can redeem? I'm like, yes, I did see that.
My office has been in that code out for the last 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So, Scott, thank you for all you do and your commitment to Safe Ride of Central Ohio. And now as we wrap things up, we like to get into a little rapid fire. So,
oh, boy. Rapid fire, I think
I know you're
this.
ready for this. And so let's just start off with an easy one. What's your favorite event in Dublin?
It's the Dublin Irish Festival. Like, it's really hard to beat the live music that's there and all the throngs of people. And that's my people, you know. Like, there are some of those bands, Gaelic Storm, that's great and has been there for years. You've had other ones, Scythian, Young Dubliners, and I know those bands. You know, they're good. That one's hard to beat. There's still other good ones, though, too. I mean, the Memorial's great. Even the Dublin Market is now unbelievable there. You go... You got to dodge strollers and puppies. Other than that, it's pretty good.
I think that's their tagline for 26.
Dodge puppies.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite item on the Fado menu?
Yeah. So fish and chips is always our number one thing, and I crave fish, but I like the fish tacos. So it's the same fish, just a smaller piece, and like I love tacos. So we were talking about tacos earlier. Fish tacos probably is number one.
I like to brunch at Fado here in Dublin, and Rosie's Brunch Bowl, shout out. I think it's underrated, and I really, really like it, and I want one right now.
Thank you. That's very good.
Can you give us one secret ingredient on the Fado menu?
Yeah, so the first thing that I would say that's a secret ingredient that everybody should try, this is cross-promotion here, Celtic Cocktail Trail.
Okay.
We have an espresso martini that we actually use real espresso on ours. We have a local roaster called Jennings Java. They have a golden espresso bean that we grind and make espresso with to add to the martini. And they're super hot. They're the rage.
All right. What's your favorite dish that you want to learn how to cook?
You know, I don't really know much about Asian cuisine, and I've never done like kimchi or any of that stuff. And I like a lot of that stuff. And there's very few like cuisines that I don't feel like I know a lot of secrets about. I don't. But that one would be fun. I'd love to go to cooking classes.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Yeah. All right, restaurant or not, what was your first job?
It was called Jed's Steak and Ribs.
Oh, okay.
Past the paper route. The paper route when I was 12. Right? Jed's Steak and Ribs was great. I was a dishwasher when I started. By the time I left, I was a line cook. I was 18 years old and moved on to other restaurants, the old Brown Derby group. There used to be some in Columbus.
All right, hairnet or no hairnet?
So, you know, in my years in the past, we wore hairnets. Now we wear hats.
Okay.
So.
And I know there's
I don't think I can get any guys to wear hairnets anymore.
No, and you're not going to get anyone to be on a paper route either.
Right. No, well, there's that.
Speaking of jobs that don't exist anymore.
Vouchers and paper routes.
Right.
We covered a lot of ground.
We have some listeners out there just scratching their head wondering what we are talking about.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, twofer. Favorite country you visited and country you still want to visit?
Yeah, so Ireland by far. I know it sounds like the right answer here, but for me, I haven't been to a million other countries, but Galway in Ireland, my favorite view is having a pint in Galway, listening to Irish music, and it's so much fun. Like, you don't ever want to leave. You get into the vortex.
I want to go there. So, all right. Well, let's be honest.
So
go. Oh,
where
where you
want
want
to visit.
Yeah.
So I've never been to the north in Ireland, and that's where our family blood is. Northern Ireland and Scotland. So
you're really branching out there.
I know, but I also want to go to Barcelona and watch a soccer match. So
there you go.
Those are right in there.
All right. Last question. When people find out what you do for a living, what do they say?
Yeah, I mean, I think most people think of the job, and it's got to be really fun, right? Because they see the on-stage moments. They get to see that you meet all these people and you do all these things. What they don't see is what you got to do hours before that to get ready for that on-stage moment. The backstage stuff we don't want you to know about. Right? But I think most people think it's really cool, and 90% of it is. That's why I love it. I have the draw and the attraction to the business and never leave.
Awesome.
All right, Scott Neff, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for joining us on Link Ahead.
You guys are great partners. We appreciate it.
And thank you to our listeners for taking the time to connect with your city. Tune in next time as we continue to explore the many personalities and experiences that make Dublin a thriving place to live, work, and grow.